Hi everyone, I'm here in the West Village of New York City, once the center of LGBTQ nightlife and culture, and now a utopia for straight white couples and their dogs. I'm kidding, of course. Some of the most iconic LGBTQ bars are still here in the West Village. In fact, you've probably seen me blackout dancing shirtless at 1, 2, okay, fine, all of them. Today, I'm lucky enough to visit the most iconic one of them all, Cubbyhole, which, believe it or not, is actually one of the last remaining lesbian bars left in the country. I'll be sitting down with the owner of Cubbyhole, Menichino, and the creators and directors of the docuseries, the Lesbian Bar Project, about why lesbian bars are so important for the entire LGBTQ community. I'm here with Rose Elina Street, the creators, the directors of the Lesbian Bar Project, and in honor of us being here together right now, and because Jägermeister is a proud partner of the Lesbian Bar Project, I thought we would do a shot of Jägermeister, which is big for me because I usually only do tequila blanco. How many calories? No, we don't. It's fine.
It's a sugary syrup.
Yeah.
Okay, woohoo! Here we go. Cheers.
Prost.
Prost. Santé.
Oh! Holy shit! Oh! Okay, I need something like sparkly and fruity and fun. Oh!
I have this bubbly fairy for you.
Oh my god, I love it.
You bubbly fairy.
What's the drink called?
Bubbly fairy.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Erica, Elina.
Yes.
What I'm so impressed by you both is from the PSA to this documentary in 2021 with Lisa and bar owners in DC and Alabama, and then you make this docuseries with Roku and Jägermeister, and you go around the country and you meet incredible people. What's it been like as artists to grow this project and get the recognition that you guys are getting, as well as what's it like being known as the Lesbian Bar Girls?
I think we've reached potentially D-list to lesbian status.
Oh, that's hot. That's good.
And it's a lot of pressure to be a professional lesbian, especially during Pride, because it books you book up, you know?
Even Pride, everyone calls you and they're like, we need a lesbian in our lives. I'm like, fine, I know you do, but it's all the time.
I'm not gonna lie, I am so happy that I'm proving I have lesbian friends with this on footage.
Yes. And we were not paid to be here. No, it's just like we need to keep telling our stories, and we need to keep telling our stories for our community.
Yes.
And for so long, stories about queer women have been at the hands of cis men, a lot of them who are not even queer, and that spreads this like mythology about queer women that's really unfair and unfortunate. And why aren't we empowering our like community to tell our stories? And we're just really grateful that we've been given the opportunity to do so.
I actually wanted to ask you guys this because of the Lesbian Bar Project. I read this article on Vice about the author of it was redefined queer baiting as kind of straight people taking over queer nightlife. When you walk in, it's almost 50-50 straight girls and gay men. And though at one point, I'm like, okay, I appreciate that, like, wow, look at our culture is now so welcoming and so accepted by this group of heterosexual people that they're here and they just want to tell me how much they love Drag Race. Fun. But also, they are literally taking up space.
Right, and they're using the community as a spectacle.
Yes.
And that's an issue. But I also think that they probably feel safer in that space because if they do go to their hetero spaces, they might get disrespected by men.
Yeah.
So there is that, balance there. I think it's all about what is the intention of the patron as they walk into a space and how much understanding do they have about the space before they walk into it.
Off of that very good point, I just want to say that I think in many of the bars owners that we've spoken to, unfortunately, just based on sheer numbers, they can't survive without allyship, without straight allyship coming to the bars. So I think that's an important factor when we talk about, the kind of economics behind this issue.
Great, so straight people, just send us money. What was it like to travel the country and talk to these people, and what did you learn from them?
I was getting emotional the other day thinking about that because we started this project, we have been so fortunate to meet walks of life that we would have never encountered without the Lesbian Bar Project. And it's been so transformative and educational. When we did our Houston episode, we met people who would drive 90 minutes each way to go to Pearl Bar every night. because they didn't have a safe space near them. And that bar, I mean, right now, and this is now public, Julie, the owner, has talked about that she is being denied, potentially she's being denied insurance to cover her bar because they hold drag shows there. If that bar shuts down, that radiates, and that impact is going to affect like thousands of people.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Well, what I think is so beautiful about the docuseries and what is happening right now, as we, as New Yorkers, live in our liberal bastion of equality and community, we are all connected. We are connected to our members of community in the South who have to fight these anti-trans, anti-drag laws, who are not as supported economically as we are here in New York. So if we disappear in Alabama, then they win.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Well, because their goal is to erase us.
Yes.
And we have to, and we have to really be specific about that. Their goal is to annihilate and erase us from existence. And the problem is that we're not going anywhere.
Nope.
And I think even though, we have evil forces trying to shut us down, we have to be louder than ever. And we have to counteract that and say that we've always been here, and we're only going to get stronger and louder and queerer. So fuck off.
Straight.
And it just,
or gay.
Or gay, damn gay.
Yeah. But one thing that we found as we've traveled around the country and now globally in the world, there's this unspoken understanding and language between queer people, and especially queer women and marginalized genders within the queer community. And that is one thing that we've found, is that we don't necessarily have to explain ourselves to these people, because it's like, even if we come from all different backgrounds, all different socioeconomic classes, all different races and gender identities, we still have this commonality. And that is like really what the Lesbian Bar Project is about, is by like bringing all of these different people around the world together for this one mission to keep our safe spaces alive.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know where that
was wonderful.
Now that I finished my drink, it was time to get a refill and talk to Cubbyhole owner Lisa Menichino.
Lisa, I'm so honored to be here, truly, to be at the Cubbyhole, a New York institution, LGBTQ institution. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure.
And to keep the party going, I think I should do your other specialty drink, the purple unicorn.
Okay.
Okay, great. So don't worry, I'm not going to make you pay for me. I got...
Oh, no. Cash only.
Oh, wait.
ATM.
Of course. Do you need cash? Yeah, no, I'm good for it. Come on. Yeah, thanks. My Venmo's broken, by the way. Here you go.
Thank you.
Cubbyhole opened in 1987 under a different name, DT's Fat Cat. And in 1994, Tanya Saunders, the owner and founder of Cubbyhole, got the name Cubbyhole. The Cubbyhole, I think what's known for, besides, incredible bartenders, the decor, I mean, the ceiling is the bar. It's this welcoming atmosphere. It feels like home to its frequent customers, to even people who come in for the first time. How do you maintain that atmosphere?
Well, it's important. The bartender plays an integral. It's important to have friendly bartenders. I think the small size of it all lends to the intimacy. And it's been described as sort of a small town dropped into the frenetic chaos of a big city.
Yes.
And people come in, and the bartender remembers who they are, they remember who they drink, and we give out like free pizza. We make like a community of it.
Yeah.
And I think people really appreciate that, and they miss that in a big city, which can often be, even though it's crowded, very lonely for people. And Tanya did that.
I don't know if you're familiar with the teachings of Honey Boo Boo, one of the great prophets of our time. And she once said that everybody's a little bit gay. Now, that's a little bit exaggeration, but according to a Gallup poll, 7.2% of Americans identify as LGBTQ, and I think something about like 19.7% of Gen Zers identify as LGBTQ. The gay agenda is working. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene's worst nightmare. I'm so excited. But, as we addressed before, lesbian bars, as you once put, are kind of an endangered species. Why is it so important that places like the Cubbyhole stay open for future generations, for those Gen Zers who are just coming out, who are just about to start to explore LGBTQ culture and community?
For history, for camaraderie, from original spaces that allowed self-expression without fear. To be in places where others are like you.
Yeah.
And without judgment.
And what I always tell my straight friends, what's so great about our community is the multi-generational aspect of it. that going to gay bars, lesbian bars, queer spaces, like, you will meet people if you open yourself to that, pave the way for you to be there. And it's important to talk to those people.
To hear their story, absolutely.
Yeah.
And their stories are incredible because there's things that, like Tanya, who had to marry her neighbor.
Right.
There's things now you take for granted and you would never know unless you spoke to people who lived during that time.
Lisa, thank you so much for talking to me today. This was really an honor. Cubbyhole is, as I said, a New York institution, and I'm honored to talk to you, and I'm honored to be here.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
After my third Purple Unicorn, it was time for me to stumble out of Cubbyhole with a new love and appreciation for lesbian bars. I may have been slurring my words, but I hope my conversation with Erica, Alina, and Lisa leaves you inspired and determined to support spaces open to all LGBTQ people. You'll be sure to find me at Cubbyhole and other lesbian bars in the near future. I'll be the one dancing on the bar with my shirt off.